The Massachusetts 2050 Transportation Plan, titled Beyond Mobility, was developed by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation to address the most pressing transportation issue in the state, both now and in the future. The 6 priority areas are safety, reliability, supporting clean transportation, destination connectivity, resiliency, and travel experience. Now, the Charles River Regional Chamber invited the Massachusetts Secretary of Transportation, Monica Tibbits-Nutt, to speak about the Healey-Driscoll administration's plan to improve the transportation system in the state. Now, on Tuesday, May 14, Tibbits-Nutt stated an answer for resolving transportation problems is to focus on housing affordability for all.
You live and work in communities that are just crippled by the congestion on our roadways. And it is actually getting worse. I think people talk a lot about it as if, is this a perception thing? No, it is actually getting worse. And May has been one of the worst months for our traffic congestion in a very, very long time. And it's the kind of thing where people ask me, okay, what is causing this? We don't know, actually. We look at data, we look at crash data, we look at traffic counts, and at this point, I think the best guess we have is people are causing a lot of traffic accidents and people don't live anywhere near where they work. And so that's the reason I talk a lot about housing. I can't ease congestion. There are only so many tools we have, and most of them are punitive. You can charge more tolls within the Commonwealth. You can charge for congestion pricing. You can make it insanely expensive for people to drive, but it doesn't actually solve the central problem of how do you get people to where they need to go. So what are we trying to do to help this? We are really working very hard to increase housing. We talk a lot about the MBTA Communities Act, which is very, very controversial in a lot of communities. There are many communities that have voted to not put in more housing. They all have many different reasons for this. And I'm not going to sit here and judge those reasons because I don't live in those communities. So I don't know what was behind the votes that a lot of them have taken. But the thing I do know is unless we get housing, and I'm talking affordable housing. And when I say affordable housing, a lot of people say, okay, so you're talking about low-income families. No, I'm talking about housing that anyone can afford. And that really is the full spectrum of housing. No one can afford to live here. And the thing that Secretary Howe, our Secretary of Economic Development, is constantly saying is now we're losing people. It used to be that conversation around, okay, if you live in 128, you work in 128, you're priced out of that, okay, you'll go to 495. Okay, you can't do that, now you'll go to the South Shore. Now it's you go to a different state. And it's not just impacting our residents, it's impacting our businesses. And that's when we start to get very, very worried. The budget we put forward this year is a very, very tight budget. And that's the proposed budget from this administration. The House budget is also very tight. And the thing is, it's because we are not bringing in enough revenues. The state is not making the amount of money that we used to make. So this is just compounding that problem.